What's going on, guys? Zennosh here, and today in this video, let's do a character analysis and review on Ganglim. She is a human type unit, and let's start with her basic details. Her role is attack, and she can really do a lot of damage, which we are gonna discuss a little bit later with her skills, alright? And with this stance, she is a range type, so that's pretty good. Fusion is 50%, and let's look into her maxed out stuff, the stats. So right over here, guys, the attack is about 9,850. Not really that great. I think it's kind of below average. Max HP is like 23,341, which is pretty much average for attack type character units. And defense is 1,092. That is pretty average as well. So that means she can be pretty squishy as a attack type character unit. So be careful about her. Try to place her right behind very good defensive units like Blue Dragon. Alright, or else you might actually go down or get squashed really fast. Alright, the magic resistance is 1210, which is pretty average as well. Not really that very impressive stat right over here. But when we are gonna talk about the skills, that will pretty much change our Ganglim. Okay, so let's start with the skills preview. Let's start with the basic auto attack skill. It can attack up to 3 enemies at a time, and it deals a magic damage, but the skill animation takes about 3 seconds to cooldown, okay, which I think is kind of really long for an auto attack, but being able to deal damage up to 3 enemies is pretty good. A very good AoE skill indeed, in my opinion. And let's look into her main skill number 1, okay, her first active skill. It's known as the Advent of Lion. It deals a magic type of damage, attacks all enemies in the front range with 36,552 attack. Wow, that's a lot of damage output, guys. I mean, this is really great. She doesn't care how many enemies are standing right before her. I mean, in front of her, she's just gonna hit all of them, alright? So make sure that the enemies are lined up right in front of her. If they are on her rear, then obviously she's not gonna deal any damage, alright? And there are many other, there are some hero units who are actually gonna help her out with that quest, like a Blue Dragon, who can actually forcibly, pull the enemies at a certain location in front of him, right? So at that time, you can use the this first main skill of the Ganglim, known as the Advent of Lion, and you can deal a massive amount of damage to a entire opponents. Okay, so yeah, there we go. A very good crowd control skill indeed, in my opinion. Very good indeed. I like it. I really do like it. And now let's move on to the second main skill. It is known as the Register of the Dead. It's a main skill number 2, or active skill number 2. What's gonna happen with the Register of the Dead is that she puts one enemy with the highest max HP on the Register of the Dead for 15 seconds. Okay, so what happens with the Register of the Dead is that the enemy will actually die immediately if the HP ratio is below 15%. Okay, so if their total HP actually goes just a little bit below 15% during the status effect of the Register of the Dead, they will die immediately. That is pretty good as well. Okay, especially against the boss hunts. Alright, getting rid of that 15% of the max HP can actually be really tough when it comes to boss hunts, and she can just make it quite quicker, okay, which I think is good. And further, she spiritualizes the enemy. Now, what happens when you spiritualize the enemy, okay? When you spiritualize the enemy will sort of transform into a temporary ghost unit, okay? And during that time, they will not take any sort of physical damage, but when they are suffering from the magical damage will be amplified by 2 times, okay? So yeah, they will receive twice as much damage from magical attacks. That is so cool. That is really cool, alright? So I think this Register of Dead is gonna be really great against the boss units, especially those units who are very pesky, have really high max HP, or maybe very high defense, and you would really want to bring them down very fast, and especially if they have any sort of weakness against the magical attacks, then damn, Register of Dead is gonna be a mayhem for them. This is really good skill that I would really want to have around, okay, to fight against the boss units. Alright, there we go. And when we are actually gonna talk about her first passive, or let's say the sub skill number 1, which is known as the Spirit Collecting. It deals a magic type of damage. What happens is that she grants soul mark to 2 nearby enemies for 10 seconds if she manages to kill a enemy. Okay, so right over here, if she actually managed to kill this like the center opponent, okay, this guy right over here, what's gonna happen is that she is actually gonna put this soul mark to the 2 nearby enemies, and within the period when they are being affected by the soul mark, they will receive an additional damage of 22,350 when getting attacked. Okay, like what? Yeah. An additional damage will always apply to them whenever they get any sort of hit. Okay, so that is really great. And this soul mark is gonna stay for 10 seconds. So within that period of 10 seconds, they are gonna receive that additional damage. Yeah, there we go, guys. Spirit Collecting is really fine, really good in my opinion. Whereas for her second sub skill, all right, known as the sub skill 2, or let's say the second passive, it's known as the Stigma. It deals a damage, magical damage as well. And what it does is that it resets cooldown of the main skill 1, which is also known as the Advent of Lion, right? Remember the main skill number 1 that actually deals an AoE damage to all the enemies that is in front of her, all right, regardless of their numbers. Yes, that one, guys. When attacking an enemy who is in the state of spiritualize. Okay, so there we go, guys. What's gonna happen is that if she is actually gonna attack the enemy who is under the effect of the spiritualize, her main skill is gonna go into the instant cooldown. That means she can spam her first skill over and over and over again. Like what? Yeah, it sounds really OP, right? And it's a very good crowd control skill indeed as well. Okay, and that actually really changes a lot of things. Okay, I mean, she can really spam a lot of damage, guys. I mean, you really want a very good crowd controlling unit, then you have Ganglim. Okay, so if you manage to pull her out, rejoice, she can actually do a lot of damage. Oh my god, okay. This is really good, and it has a cooldown of about 15 seconds. When attacking an enemy in the state of spiritualized by the Advent of Lion, inflicts additional damage as well of 46,024. What the hell? Yes. Oh man, what? Yeah, so basically the Stigma is the bread and butter for her, okay, because it kind of just links her main skill 1 and main skill 2. Okay, her main skill 2 sort of spiritualize the opponent, and when she's gonna attack the spiritualized opponent, she is actually gonna have that instant reset cooldown of her main skill 1, the Advent of Lion, and then she will be able to use it right away again. And when she's actually gonna use that, what's gonna happen is that against the opponent that is spiritualized, she's gonna deal an extra 46,024 damage. Wow, she is really very good unit against a boss, and even against crowds. Okay, what? Yeah, equipped with a very good AoE skill as well as the single target, disabling and crippling skills. She is really good in my opinion. Very good synergy between her skills, and her second sub skill really notch it off. Okay, so if you really want to unlock that up right away, try to evolve her. Okay, so obviously in order to evolve you will really need to have her beads, right? So just try to get it and try to evolve her right away. That can actually be a little bit problematic, but you can still do it. Just try to get it. And now let's see how the fusion will really look like with the Ganglim. Okay, wow, that's really good. Okay, just look at that, guys. Just look at that. AoE damage over and over again. Wow, doesn't it feel good? Yes, it does. It does really feel good. If I really am the one who is actually using that skill against the opponents, guys, that's so good. I like it. I really do like it. This is really great in my opinion. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. If you guys have different opinions and feedbacks for this particular certain unit, then please let me know in the comment section below. Let's discuss about her, and see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. All right.